And we're back with event 2. Once again, Dr. Brooks with Des Moines Spine and Sport, taking you through event 2, otherwise known as Barbie. Okay? This chipper is going to be quick, and it's going to require a lot of overhead positioning and then proper ankle mechanics. So what we want to do is we want to work on some of the factors that will limit a person to getting into a good overhead position. The first factor is going to be your T-spine mobility, so we're going to start with the bretzel first. For that bretzel, person makes their way to a sideline position, kick your top leg up on top of the foam roller, pin that knee down or into place, make sure your bottom knee is slightly behind your hip, reach back for that foot, and then on an exhale, open up those shoulders and try to get both shoulders against that ground. Okay? So, bretzel to open up the T-spine. We then want to attack some of the structures that insert at that anterior shoulder capsule that limit our ability to externally rotate and get into a good overhead position. The first structure that we're going to address is the pec. We'll utilize a kettlebell for this. Once again, we've kind of got this baby kettlebell here. This might actually be a good place for most people to start. 35 to 56 or 53 or whatever it actually is. It's a little bit painful on that shoulder. So what you'll do is you'll make your way to the ground here again and position that kettlebell right on that pec. But then you also kind of want to pull that pec in to put some tension onto that pec. You'll bring that arm out to the side, and then what we'll do is we'll peel this pec back by forcing our arm into external rotation. Come back up and reposition that kettlebell, pulling it towards your midline, and then externally rotating, trying to get that hand flat against the floor. Okay? So the pec, and now we'll actually attack the lat. Okay? So I like to utilize the foam roller for this. You'll basically come to a sideline position here, set that foam roller right into the armpit, and then I always like to envision raising my hand to ask a question in class. So I want to be in that good overhead position. So you bridge those hips up and then roll through that lat. Okay, roll through that lat. Don't be afraid to kind of open yourself up or even close yourself off to get different portions of that lat. Okay, to get different portions of that lat. So, basically what those three mobilizations are doing is getting us into a good position to get overhead, but now we need to be stable once we're overhead, and that requires proper scapular stability and glenohumeral stability. What I'd like to do for that is what's known as a wall angel. We'll go over that here, but what it does is it activates the muscles that are responsible for keeping you stable in that overhead position. So what you'll do is make your way into 3/4 half squat against this wall. You want to imprint your lumbar spine against the wall, imprint your shoulders, and then your head against that wall, and then come up into a field goal-like position or one where you would make a snow angel. Also make sure the back of your hands are flat against this wall, and then pull those shoulder blades, scapula together, and then come back on up. Down and up. Once again, the main thing with this is making sure that you're imprinted against this wall. I can do wall angels and be hyperextended at that low back and have great ranges of motion, but I'm mobilizing, I'm activating in a poor position, which isn't going to do us any good at the end of the day. Okay? So, overhead position, ankle mechanics. Ankle mechanics come down to basically Achilles and calf length, and then amount of dorsiflexion. Well, there's other pieces involved, but those are the ones that we're going to focus on for now. So, to increase calf length, we use a foam roller to do a windshield wiper foam roller smash. So a person will basically toss a leg on top of that foam roller, interlace the other, bridge the hips up, and then we'll windshield wiper our ankles back and forth. Okay? So we'll smash those calves, and then we'll actually stretch those calves really good. I call this an athletic lunge-like position, so you want to get against the wall and envision yourself lunging out towards that wall. And then as you can see, my back heel is slightly elevated, but I'm going to press into that wall to press my heel down to the ground. So you should feel that all the way in the Achilles up to the back of the knee. Okay, up to the back of the knee. Last piece here is we want to induce some good dorsiflexion of that ankle, some good tailor motion. So you'll come down to an actual lunge. And what you want to do is you want to set yourself away from that wall, say like 1 inch, 2 inches. Some people will be able to be 3, 4. My dorsiflexion is actually a little bit limited, so I'm fairly close to the wall. But I get in this lunge position, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my heel stays locked to the ground, and I'm going to lunge forward and tap that wall with my knee. It's good to envision 3 separate targets kind of on that wall, and work yourself that middle target, intermediate target, and then lateral target. Okay? So, overhead position, ankle mechanics, go get event 2.